Hey guys, DKS3A. My next collection I'm going to be doing is it's actually one of my bigger collections. It's not huge, but it's one of my bigger collections that I have. It's my PlayStation 2 collection. I got plenty of PS2 games to go through. Some of these I haven't played yet, so if anybody can help me with them, that'll be cool. Like, give me a general idea of what it's about and all that kind of stuff. But let's start going through because, like I said, this is a little bit more of a bigger collection. And the first game I have, it's in one of the GameStop generic cases. It's Arctolad Twilight of the Princess. Twilight of the Spirits. It's it's a tactical RPG involving demons going around getting spirit stones to try to fight the Demon King and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really, really cool. It's a fun little game. Then we have I'm going to do this one because this one doesn't really have a case, but it's the Herbs Sims in the City. It's a Sims game, but yeah. I don't have a case for it. But the one I do have a case for, made by Age Tech, and stuff like that, but it's Armored Core 2. Some kind of it's a mech game. I'm not exactly sure exactly what it's about, but it's a mech game, what I gathered. So then we have kind of like a RPG, but it's also kind of like a dungeon crawler. And each time you play, the dungeons are randomized and all that kind of stuff. And you also, the world gets destroyed by a genie, and you have to go around collecting pieces of the world to rebuild it. And that is Dark Cloud. Dark Cloud is okay. It doesn't hold a candle to the sequel. The sequel, Dark Cloud 2, is so much better. But it's like I said, it's a random dungeon. You go around collecting pieces of the villages. You can put the villages back together by specifications and stuff like that. And you have to go around and eventually defeat the Stark Genie, who's the one that destroyed the world in the first place. And stuff like that. But you have to go around destroying, putting the world back together. And speaking of the sequel, which I like a whole lot better, it's Dark Cloud 2. Awesome game. It has more elements to it. You're still trying to rebuild the world, but you have to rebuild the past, present, and future in order to get to where you need to go to get to the final boss of the game. And the characters and the story is just so much better in this one. I really like Dark Cloud 2. So then we have a game I have done on my channel, made by Capcom, Devil May Cry. Hack and slash at its finest. It's a classic. What can you say about it that hasn't already been said? Dante's a really cool character, but yeah, it's really fun. Then I have Devil May Cry 2, which a lot of people don't seem to like. It's probably the weakest of the original trilogy, and I can agree with that. There's just a bunch of changes, and but it's still kind of like the Devil May Cry, but it's not quite as good as the other ones. But I don't know. And then, all right. But then a lot of people say this one is the best one of the original trilogy, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. There's a prequel of Devil May Cry. It talks about Dante's past and stuff like that, and about his twin brother Virgil, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this one's actually, a lot of people say this is the best one of the original trilogy. Then we have part of the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, made by Square Enix, of course. Compilation Final Fantasy VII, all kinds of games and movies and stuff like that take place in the Final Fantasy VII universe. It's Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII. It involves around Vincent, takes place, I think, 2 years after Advent Children, and you play as Vincent, and you have to figure out what's going on with this organization called Deep Ground, and it's like a first first-person shooter hybrid RPG, but it's like a third-person shooter kind of style too. So it's okay. I have put this on my channel already. So a lot of people say that this is probably the best Dragon Quest game in the series. I mean, besides this one or 11, but it's Dragon Quest 8, Journey of the Cursed King. It's a great game. I've beaten it. It's just an amazing game. Great story, great characters, great atmosphere, great everything. This is actually a really, really, really fun game. Oh, and this one also comes with the Final Fantasy 12 playable demo. Speaking of Final Fantasy, very first game I ever got for the PlayStation 2, Final Fantasy X. First game with voice acting, first game with 3D, first game with voice acting. The active time, the turn pace is a little bit different. You can bring characters in and out. Characters are really good. Everything's just pretty good, and everything's just a game. This is a really good Final Fantasy. And then Final Fantasy X-2, one of the first Final Fantasies to have a sequel. I don't think it was the first. May have been. I can't remember. Because I know Final Fantasy V got a movie sequel and so like that, but I think this is actually the first game that got a sequel. It takes place a couple years after original Final Fantasy. You play as Yuna, and you find a mysterious orb, and it looks like you might have Tidus in it, and you have to go around trying to figure out what's this orb, and then you unlock like kind of like a political thing and so like that. It's okay. The battle system's amazing though. The story's kind of cheesy, Charlie Angels-esque and all like that, but the battle system's probably one of the best battle systems in the whole series. Then we have Final Fantasy 12. A lot of people, I like it. It's kind of like an MMORPG, but single player. But I do like it. Characters are fine. Battle system, I mean, it's fine. But the gambit system, when you put in gambits and stuff like that, and you can actually have like like that. The characters do what you want them to do based on the gambits and everything like that. It's a fine game. It's fine. All right. Then we got one that I haven't played yet, but I'm not exactly sure what this is all about and all kind of stuff. It's made by Midway, and it's Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. Not exactly sure what it's about, but it looks fine. I might have to play this one day. I might actually put it in my channel as something blind. I don't know. I'll have to look into that one. So, then currently the game I'm Let's playing, of course, got the generic case. Grandia 2. One of my favorite RPGs of all time. It's probably my second favorite RPG of all time. And, sorry, my phone's going off. No, you hear my phone going off, sorry. But yeah, game I'm currently Let's playing. You know about my ideas on this game, so. And hold on a second. Alright, turn my phone down until I get this video recorded. Anyway, Grandia 2. Y'all know how I feel about that game. I'm still currently Let's playing it. Getting close to the end of it though, but yeah. I'll put the case over here because games are Let's playing, so that are over there. So then we have a game that's not as good. Take Game Art's got, I don't know, Square Enix wound up getting it and all kind of stuff, and this game's just not as good as the second one, but it's Grandia 3. I don't know what it is, but this one's just not as good. I don't know if it's the story or anything like that. I don't know what it is about this one, but I mean, it's okay, but it's really not as good. So I don't know how to explain it, but it's okay. It's okay. Then we have Grand Theft Auto 3. What can you say about it? And I might as well go and say we got Grand Theft Auto Vice City and San Andreas. So, and then for a while, I was in a Guitar Hero kick. So I'm about to just do all of these. It's Guitar Hero, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Rocks the 80s, Guitar Hero Aerosmith, and Guitar Hero World Tour. All Guitar Heroes. So, yeah. I still got the controllers of the guitar controllers too during the shed. I just gotta pick them out one day. And then another one I'm not very familiar with. It's made by UFO or LFO or I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't really know too much about it, but it's called Heavenly Guardian. Again, I really don't know that much about it, so I really don't know. But yeah. Anybody can tell me what Heavenly Guardian is about, that would be cool. Then we got probably one of the best trilogies on the PS2, made by Naughty Dog, Jak and Daxter. Great platforming at its finest, probably one of the greatest 3D platformers and trilogies on the PS2. So I got Jak 1, Jak 2, and Jak 3. Oh, and there's actually apparently a fourth one I forgot about. Jak and Daxter, The Lost Frontier, which I really don't know that much about because I haven't really played it. And then I was one of those people at the very beginning. I was very skeptical because it was like, what the hell are they thinking? Square Enix made it. Well, it's known as Squaresoft right here, but Disney meets Final Fantasy. Disney meets Kingdom, I don't know, but it's Kingdom Hearts. And I freaking love the series. As y'all know, I've put the entire series on my channel. And we got Kingdom Hearts 3 Chain of Memories, which is probably one of my least favorite. I just don't like the card system on that one. And Kingdom Hearts 2. Then I don't like the series, but I got the game for really cheap. It was given to me. I haven't really played it much, but I really don't like the series. But I mean, I got it. It's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Haven't finished it. Don't care to finish it. Don't really like Metal Gear Solid, but I have it. So I really don't, for some reason, really don't like Metal Gear Solid. So then we have Mortal Kombat Deception and Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I don't have MK9 or MK5 or whatever it is. The first one. I only got the second and third one, so. But it's Mortal Kombat for the PS2. It's great, so. Then I think this is a Mobile Suit RPG made by Bandai. I think it's Mobile Suit. Yeah. Feature mobile suits for Mobile Suit Gundam, G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Zero Gundam, all kind of stuff. But it's MS Saga A New Dawn. It's Mobile Suit Gundam RPG. I haven't played it, but I mean, it's Mobile Suit Gundam. I'm assuming it's probably kind of like a mech tactical JRPG kind of RPG kind of stuff. Then we have NASCAR 2007. It's NASCAR. Then we got Blitz the League, which is kind of the NFL Blitz for the PS2, where, you know, you can play, you can do whatever you want, clothesline, body slam, and there's no penalties involved, all that kind of stuff, so it's fun. Then we have Okami, which is a great game. Very, very, very aesthetic, pretty. And it's fun to boot too. You use a little paintbrush to attack and draw and all kind of stuff. And it's just a pretty game. It's fun. Then we had something that I didn't realize we had. I knew about the first one, but I never knew there was a second one, which is Parappa the Rapper 2. I played it. It's fun. It's fine. But it doesn't hold a candle to the first one. The first one's just so memorable. But the second one's fine. Then a very I have put this one on my channel. Very underrated RPG made by Square Enix. It's very funny. Kind of humor. The lead character is named after a dog breed. And all kind of stuff. But it's got the humor and all kind of stuff. It's witty. But it's ratty out of stories. What can you say? I mean, it's fun. It's an RPG style, kind of like a little bit of an action RPG, but I mean, it's fine. I love it. It's very witty. I'm not a fan of this series either, but I do actually kind of like this one a little bit. It's the only one in the series I've actually ever beaten, but it's Resident Evil 4. Not a fan of the Resident Evil series either, but I actually have played Resident Evil 4 and I've beaten it. It's the only one I've actually beaten in the entire series. I don't like the Resident Evil series for some reason, but this one I actually kind of like. Then we have Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Haven't really played this one, but I know it's kind of like a platform style game. But haven't really played this one, but it looks fine. Ooh. We're getting to the tail end, guys. We got a few games left. We got Soul Calibur 3. It's Soul Calibur. It's fine. It's fun. It's became one of the more popular fighting games between like Tekken and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. But it's fine. It's not as good as like Soul Calibur 2 or anything like that. But it's fine. Then we got one of the longest RPGs. This game took me hours upon hours upon hours upon hours to beat. It's fun, but it's Star Ocean till the end of time. Star Ocean 3. Great RPG series, but God bless, these games are so long sometimes. But it's fun. It's sci-fi. It's kind of like a sci-fi style. So then we got Suikoden 4. There's another RPG game. I haven't played too much of this one, but a lot of people say this is like the weakest one in the series. So it's another RPG style kind of game. Then we got one of my least favorite games in the Tales series. I don't know what the story's just kind of bled. The gameplay's kind of slow, but I realize it's not made by the main people who made the Tales game. It's made by the secondary company, but it's Tales of Legendia. It's okay. Some of the music's pretty good. Like the song March is really good, but the gameplay's just slow. It's bulky, and the story's just really not that good. It's kind of, eh. Then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Battle Nexus. Beat 'em up at its finest. And you can play up to 4 players. And it's just basically Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of fighting style. It's at its greatest. Then the final 3 games I have is another trilogy. It's made by Namco. It's a trilogy of RPGs. And some of these can be actually really pricey. I think one of them's worth like $100 now. But it's the Xenosaga series, 1, 2, and 3. Great games, great series, stuff like that. More sci-fi at its greatest and stuff like that. But I think at least 2 or 3 is worth like $100. And I do have all 3 of them. So yeah, they were supposed to make 4, 5, and 6, but I mean the games wasn't popular enough to warrant and all kind of stuff. But I think the spiritual successor became Xenosaga. Xenoblade Chronicles, and all kind of stuff. So that became like the spiritual successor. So, but yeah, if you think of Xenoblade Chronicles, these are kind of like the predecessors to them. So. And that's my entire PS2 collection. Like I said, it's one of my little bit of the bigger collections. It's not huge, but it's a little bit bigger. So, based on what I'm going to be doing next, it looks like I'm going to be doing Gamecube next, which is, kind of, it's not big, but it's not small. So, Gamecube will be next. So, have a good day. I'll see y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and have a good day.